I have set myself the challenge to build the ultimate stealth camper van that could be easily mistaken for a commercial vehicle from the outside, but be a fully functioning luxury camper van on the inside, complete with sign writing, a bulkhead with a secret door, and hidden solar panels on the roof. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing lots of little jobs, including wiring up my tap, installing the sink, and a few other things as well. When I say a few other things, this includes installing my fridge, my brand new 12-volt TV, a reading light, and my bench cushions arrive. My cushions have arrived! This van's really starting to come together. I think this should be pretty straightforward. Wiring it up should be even more straightforward because I did actually run all these wires for the water pump ages ago. So I just need to get it all connected up. I got all of this stuff from Contour Campervan Furniture, including the sink. But they've sent me everything. All of the pipes for the water, the waste pipe for the sink, and all of the sort of Jubilee clips and everything. So putting it together should be pretty straightforward. They've also given me this little cut-off switch for the water, but I mean, do I really need to use that? If the way that the water pump's going to work is, obviously it's an electric water pump, and you press the button here and it pumps water up through and then out the tap. But I've actually got it wired up to the switchboard so that it won't actually work unless the switch is on. Do I really need to have this on there if I'm not going to have like a constant flow of water coming up through the tap? I would probably say no, but we're going to start off by attaching this, pretty much. Nice and straightforward. So, as you can see, the pipe's all on. I've just cable tied this to this just to tidy it up. And the wires are at the back there, just screwed to the piece of wood. So now, because I did all the work beforehand and wired it up, if I turn this switch on here, and then press this, the pump should work. Sounds like a pump working to me. So that was a pretty quick and easy job really, wasn't it? But now I'm going to turn my attention to fitting the sink. Again, this all came from Contour Campervan Furniture, but they've sent me the Dometic VA930 square sink. Ah, they've sent me a blue one. I'm joking, I know that's the protective cover. I'm not that stupid. So it doesn't actually, there's no instructions with this that tells you how to install it, but I'm going to start off by just installing the plug and then go from there really. Sometimes I use manual screwdrivers. I know you don't get to see that much, but I do. Stuff like this where I don't want to over tighten it and mess the thread up or anything, it's always better to use manual. So that is our plug installed. Literally just searched the entirety of YouTube to try and find out how these clips work. They're supposed to fasten this down, but couldn't find anything. So maybe this will be the video that shows people how to do it. Okay, so I'm pretty much ready to throw this in the bin. The sink's fine, it's just these little stupid clips. The problem is that I get it into place, right? So I get my hand up around there like that and I'm grabbing it like this, right? So I'm holding it in place and then I've got to try and then get the screwdriver under, but my hand's in the way. And as soon as I let my hand go and then I actually get the screwdriver on it, it just rattles off and falls down. What a terrible design these clips are. I had a similar sort of clamps with the IKEA kitchen, but what they had, that was the one I put in the Transit, is they had a locking mechanism on this part here, so you could actually attach it to the sink, which would make sense, wouldn't it? And then you just drop it in and then you just tighten it up. It was so easy. This is an absolute joke. Okay, so after struggling for about an hour, what I've done is I've now sort of masking taped the clamps on to the sink beforehand, and then I'm going to drop it in and see if that'll work. So I can't actually do that. I need to be able to get the sink in That's why they don't come attached, I guess. Right, I've done it. Don't ask me how, but I've done it. Fitting that sink was probably one of the hardest things I've had to do in this van. You can have the best quality stuff, but if the hardware to actually install it isn't good enough, then it just makes it a terrible product. Right, so now we test to see if it works, right? I've got a jug of water. I'm just going to put the nozzle in there. So, right. Whoa! Oh, I've made a right mess. Well, at least we know it works, right? So we turn it on here. That turns the pump on. Cheers. Beautiful.
It was now time to move on to installing the fridge. I really hope this goes smoother than the sink did.
Look at all that, and I could have just lifted it up.
There she is.
Oh, it's not going to open, is it? Right, let's see if it fits. Right, so the first thing that I need to do is change the side that it opens, because I don't want it opening that way, I want it opening that way. Wires are connected. Let's get this sucker in. Well, it fits. I do have a little bit of a gap above, but I'm sure that's just going to give it extra sort of breathing space. Ta-da! So we just go on, I guess, and then we just set temperature. According to my Blue Yeti app, which if you didn't know, that's what everything runs off in the back here. I'm currently drawing 87 watts. I've got the fridge on, I've got all the lights on. If I turn all the lights off, I want to just see just what the fridge is drawing. 23 watts, so pretty much next to nothing. And it is sort of cooling down everything at the moment, so yeah, happy with that. There is 2 temperature settings on here as well, because it does have a built-in freezer as well. Not that I'll probably ever use the freezer, but I guess it's handy to have unless I run out of actual fridge space. And now it's time for me to introduce to you today's video sponsor, Manscaped. And this is the Lawn Mower 5.0 Ultra. I'm a pretty hairy guy, and in the winter months I tend to just get sort of engulfed in body hair, which is fine because it does tend to help keep the warmth in on these cold nights in the van. However, going into the warmer months, I really don't want to be the Miami Vice guy walking down the beach. But thanks to the Lawn Mower 5.0, I don't have to be that guy. It comes in this lovely little display case with everything in it. Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, interchangeable head for the closer shave, and the 2 different length combs as well, so that you can adjust the length of hair that you want. On this side as well, there's a zip, but in there is pretty much just the USB to charge it. Zip it up, and that's pretty compact. It has a safe skin technology that helps to prevent you from cutting yourself, and it also comes with a second head so you can get a closer shave. I never want to completely shave all the hair off my chest, but that's okay because the Lawnmower 5.0 comes with 2 interchangeable comb heads, so I can choose the perfect grade out of 7 possible settings. It's waterproof, so I can use it in the shower, and it makes it pretty easy for cleaning as well. And to charge the lawnmower, you literally just plug in a USB cable, which comes in the box, and there's even an LED light that shows you the state of charge. There's 2 buttons on the front, one that turns the trimmer on and off, and the other that can turn on a light so that you can pretty much use this in the dark if you needed to, and also allows you to set the trimmer into travel mode so it won't suddenly go off in your suitcase. I mean, obviously you can also use it to shave other parts of your body, but as this is a family show, I'll leave that up to your imagination. So if you're in the market for the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra and you feel this is right for you, then check out my link in the description and use my discount code lovesundays and you'll get 20% off plus free shipping. Thank you again to Manscaped for sponsoring today's video. This hob install is probably going to be the easiest thing. Right, you ready? Pull the drawer out. Right, take this out of the bag. That just lifts up. We now have, well, I would say a working hob, but this is a Dometic hob, which is designed to go in this space perfectly. That's why I ordered this particular brand. But they didn't actually send me with it. I bought this from Amazon. It didn't come with any gas lines or anything, so I'm gonna have to do that later on or in a separate video, because I was hoping I'd be able to get that installed properly with a gas line and everything, but I'm not going to be able to do that. One of the good things about this hob is that it actually comes with like a flat plate for cooking steaks and things, a smooth one as well. Essentially, this will take the place of my George Foreman grill, which is ideal. So as far as this TV goes, it's going to go up on the wall here. I've got all the wires all ready to go. I've even got a HDMI cable which I ran through the wall as well, just to make sure that I was all prepared and ready. Now this is a 12 volt TV as well, so it should take pretty much next to no power to power it up. Look at this, look. The people that supplied the wall hanging bracket for the TV supplied a little spirit level look. I'm not going to be using that because the van is only as level as the ground you're parked on. So I'm just going to do it based on measurements. So this TV comes with two different power sources. It's got the normal sort of household 240 volt. We're not going to be using that. And it also comes with this one here, which is a normal sort of cigarette lighter plug-in. I'm going to cut that off, and the reason is because it's all fused, because it all goes through the switchboard. So there's a fuse in the switchboard and there's a fuse in the fuse box as well. So even though there's a fuse in here, we're not going to need that. So I'm going to cut that wire, connect it to this one here, and then we should have power, he says. Fingers crossed. Well, I mean, there's no going back now, is there? Ugh. Obviously it's not clamped down yet. Right, there we go. We have TV. Well, the quality looks alright. Now for fitting these LED lights behind, I've made this. It's just a little bit of scrap bit of plywood that I had. It's not the prettiest and most square thing I've ever made, but you're not going to see it. So what's going to happen is I've got these little door stops here. They're going to go on the back of this, like that. So it raises this panel away from the wall. And then the LED lights are going to go around the outside here. And then that should create a glow behind the TV. I have made some amendments because I, being an idiot, didn't plan for the TV bracket. Okay, we ready? 3, 2, 1. I mean, it lights up the area lovely. The thing I'm not happy with, if I'm stood here doing some cooking, you look that way and it's like, ugh, blinding. I figured it out. Rather than go on this outside line here, I've put it on the inside line. It's not quite as intense as it was, so it's not like lighting up the whole area as much, but it just means that when I'm stood over there, you can't see the LED lights from the side. So happy with that. And there it is with the TV up. See, I've still got a glow behind. Yeah. But it's not as intense, and from this side it looks a lot better. And that has actually really brightened this space up a bit more as well, because I think that's why a lot of it was looking quite dark, is because there was no lights on this wall. So now it's kind of like, I've got this light here, this light, and the one behind the TV are on the same circuit. So essentially, if I turn off this light, that one should go off as well. See? I've also got this one here on the other side connected to its own circuit, so that if that glow does affect my TV, like if I get glare back off it, then I can turn it off quite easily. So there it is, TV with an outer glow. Looks good though. Another thing that I have to do today, I've got a reading light. That's this one should be nice and straightforward. It's going to go up here. It's not only a reading light, it also has in the bottom a USB. So it means that I can charge my phone. All of my other sockets for charging phones and things are down that end of the van, so it's quite important to have one of these. I nearly put one on each side, but I decided I wasn't going to. So for the connections for this reading light, I'm actually using regular connectors. And the reason is because the Wagos that I normally use are far too big to fit in here, and I don't really want to be sort of poking them back in through the wall, because if I ever need to pull it out, they'll get snagged and they could disconnect and I'll lose them forever. So this just seems like the easiest solution, really. All right. Okay, let's just test this as well. So there's a little USB underneath, if I can get it in. That's what she said. And it's charging. And the good thing about that, and this is the thing I was concerned about when I bought this, was that I didn't want it to only charge when the light was on, and it doesn't. It charges when it's plugged in, whether the light's on or not, so that's good. I didn't wire this one up to a switch on the switchboard because I knew it would have a switch on it itself, so perfect. I have just put in a couple of 12-volt sockets. One here just next to the kitchen, it's a little bit low, but that's where I brought the wires out. Never mind. The other one is just in here, in there. And the reason why that one's in there is so that if I ever want to plug in a PlayStation or Apple TV or anything to do with the TV, then I've got 240 volt down there. And it's all plugged into the Bluetti, so excellent. My cushions have arrived. Woohoo! Ooh, I like the colour. Right, let's get these cushions configured. Perfect fit. Look at that. You know, I have these little extension pieces here, and I could put these like here as kind of like a backrest if I want to lean up against this back door, or pull this bit out here. Then I've got a corner sofa. Look at that. So what that means is I can sit here pretty much, put my feet up like this, watch TV. I mean, this to me feels very, very comfortable. Or just say that I don't want to make it into a corner sofa. Pull these up. One can go there, one can go there. Lift this up. There we go. And now I've got a little backrest for just chilling here, still watch TV. The other option is I make the bed. Full length bed. Pull this boy up, pop that one on the end. If I then want to sort of make this a bit wider, just move this one over on this side. Keep that there still as a headboard. And now that is more than long enough for me. Just say I want to bring my wife with me. There we go, now I've got a full-size double bed. Whee! I can already picture myself parked up at a beach with these back doors open, just laid here, looking out to sea. And another way to configure this is I could essentially another L shape, but this time have it this way around. You know, maybe I don't want to watch the TV. Maybe I just want to sit here and watch the world go by. And another option is you just have the little middle support out and you can just put drinks on it. As you may be aware, because I probably mentioned this in the last video, but I actually got the cushions from the same place where I got all the furniture for the inside of the van, from Contour Campervan Furniture. And I actually ordered the colour scheme and everything based on pretty much a picture that they sent me of this van setup and I liked the cushions. I like that colour, and then I've pretty much just based everything off the orange. So that's why these insets are orange. If you look closely at the fabric, it's not just orange, it's kind of got like this sort of black sort of pattern to it, which makes it look a lot more premium than anything that I probably could have done myself. But I also like the attention to detail, because obviously I did send them the measurements of each bench that I'd scribed in and everything, and I was a bit worried because obviously it goes around the pillars at the back, and I was like, are they going to be able to sort of stitch around that corner? And they have, and they've done a great job, and they fit so well. So all in all, I'd say that this was pretty successful. It's always nice when you start installing all your TVs and your toys and everything, and your gas burner and your fridge, because it's all of a sudden becomes a reality that actually this is going to be a very nice, comfortable camper, and like a home away from home as well. I know it looks like the van's pretty much finished, but I've still got loads to do, so stick around for those videos. But as always, I'd like to say thank you to everybody that supports the channel. You're all absolute legends, and other than that, I'll see you next week. Cheers!